Welcome back to Out and About magazine. We are down here at Miss Lily's, so if you're looking for a Jamaican spot, definitely check out Miss Lily's at Sheraton, Dubai. And we're here with the amazing Aubrey. Welcome to Out and About.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
It's so amazing to be finally sitting with you.
Yes.
As I told you before we started rolling, I've been stalking you for a while, so it's really good to sit with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it's better late than never, you know what I mean? So it's all blessings and positive vibrations.
Well, we're right on time.
Yes.
We are
Exactly.
right on
So,
time.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Never late, always on time.
Now, our audience doesn't necessarily know you as much.
Right.
They've not been stalking you like I have. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the meat?
So my name is Abri. I'm an artist, performer, singer, songwriter from the UAE. I've been doing music roughly the early 2005, 4. I got a band. I released a few albums here and there. My family is originally from Zanzibar. That's where motherland is. But my dad came here around 1968. He's a musician as well.
Okay.
So he was always playing music in the house, and me and my brother Arkam kind of got the music gene from him. So started picking up music, singing music, and singing in school talent shows and in high school and stuff. And around 2005 is when I kind of took it seriously and started pursuing it. And me and a bunch of other musicians, we released a couple of albums, done a few stuff by solo as well. So yeah, it's been great so far. I mean, and here we are.
It's been a journey. It's been quite a journey for you. Now, what's your goal in terms of music?
Well, for me, it's all about just making music that's true to me, and now it's a whole vibe of sending out positive energies and making sure that my music resonates with everybody else. I love performing. I love going out and interacting with people and sharing energy. So it's all positive, and it's all like it all comes from love, basically. The foundation of it is love.
Now, I want to take you back to something you said. You said that your dad is where the musical gene came from,
Right.
and then he also has been an influence, clearly.
Yes, absolutely.
Who are your other influences? Who would you say, growing up, that person made me want to do music?
Like an artist, or
Yes, or anyone else, if it's someone else.
Yeah, I mean, there's as far as artists, there's I mean, I started when we were growing up. My dad would play Western music as well, apart from the traditional Zanzibari music. We'd have people like Elvis Presley and Cliff Richard and Peter Tosh, Bob Marley, obviously, and Prince. Those are the main ones that I can remember. But for me, the influence that got me into singing and performing was Michael Jackson. I loved, Off the Wall for me is the best album of all time. I love that album. Yeah, so when I started listening to his music, I started trying to imitate how he was performing and singing, and that's how it started. And after that, it was Stevie Wonder, obviously, and Maxwell and Music Soul Child. I was really into the neo soul in the 90s and early 2000s. So I was listening a lot of D'Angelo and Erykah Badu, and Bilal, obviously, and Maxwell, Music Soul Child as well. Yeah.
And that's definitely my kind of vibe. I could listen to those artists every single day. You've got an amazing voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, that kind of music definitely suits you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why did you decide to take music up as a career?
Well, so I started out doing visual arts. I wanted to be a painter, an artist, and that's what I went to Miami, Florida, early 2000 to study. I wanted to be a visual artist, a painter. But then while I was there, I started listening to, I started getting more into the music side. I was joining a few groups. I was doing my own thing, like an R&B type of vibe. And I was experimenting with music and listening to other types of music that I wasn't really keen to back in the day. And I think at that time is when I kind of slowly started switching from visual arts to more music, creative side. So I think that's when I decided I wanted to kind of pursue music as more of a creative outlet than the visual side of things. And then when I came back after college, I was kind of doing a few odd jobs here and there. I tried to make it in England for a little bit for like a year. It didn't work out, so I came back, and that's when I started meeting up with the other musicians, Julian Science particularly, who plays the keys, and we started working on original music. That's when it kind of started, and that's when I slowly started leaving the 9 to 5 jobs and pursuing music full time.
Now, you said you tried to make it in England,
Right.
and that didn't work out. Now, how did that impact you as an artist? You know, you still want to go on that journey,
Right.
but how did that impact you?
Well, I mean, I think I went to England in a kind of with a naive perspective on things. I just thought I would go there and sing, and I'll be discovered, and that'll be it, you know. But it's way tougher. I mean, at that time I was kind of was struggling doing odd jobs here and there, and I met a few producers, amazing people in the music industry. But it was just tough, especially me coming from the UAE, to try to make it in the US, in the UK at that time, in London specifically, and at that time I was still kind of learning my craft as well. I wasn't really there, and the songwriting either. So I think it just wasn't the right time. I think, but I knew that as well. So when I came back to the UAE, to Dubai, I still kept at it. I mean, I was working with a few other friends here. There were DJs and producers, just to kind of keep on and performing live as well, just to kind of keep that fire burning, and you know, as I went along. But I never gave up, you know. I just kept on, keeping at it, and hopefully at some point, and that's around 2005 is when it kind of moving.
Yeah. And that's what it's about, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, just keep at it.
Yeah, keep at it. Just keep working hard. Be persistent. And just do it for the right reasons. Yeah, do it for the right reasons. I keep on saying that. Just do it for the right reasons. I mean, obviously the fame and the money and everything else is amazing, but that should be secondary. Mm-hmm. The music and whatever creativity you do should fulfill your soul first and foremost. And then it'll kind of resonate, and I think people will see that or feel that one day.
And that's definitely with music. People definitely feel people who they know are really authentic.
Yes,
you know,
right.
you know, doing music from their soul and from love, rather than
Yes.
just trying to make a buck here
Yes,
and there.
exactly, yeah.
Can you describe your music for us? What would you say? What music does Abri do?
Well, the foundation of my music is soul music. We were talking about neo soul. I love people like Sam Cooke and Stevie Wonder as well. You know, so I think the foundation will always, even the way I sing is very soul based. But I think I love listening to other genres of music. I mean, I listen to reggae, obviously. I listen to rock music, especially 60s and 70s funk music. So and people like Bjork, and who, you know, come very experimental out there. Radiohead as well. So I try to incorporate those styles of music, those type of genres in my music. But I think the foundation will always be soul music, soul R&B, I guess.
And being an Emirati, being Zanzibarian, how does your culture influence your music, if any?
Well, I mean, as far as the UAE, being raised here, we were just having a conversation about this recently. It's the fact that the UAE is such a multicultural place. You know, a lot of people are kind of surprised, especially people from outside, when they realize that I'm from UAE doing soul music or doing R&B. You know, but for me, being raised, it was such a natural thing, because we were all growing up. We were watching MTV. We were listening to, Boys to Men and everything else. You know, we were still exposed to that music, and we were doing shows, and we were trying to make parties and stuff like that with that genre in mind. So it was nothing new to me. I think it was just kind of a little different for other people outside, and some Emiratis as well. Seeing an Emirati doing soul music, it's a little different. But I think it's amazing to kind of show that the UAE can kind of do everything, including soul music. You know, we're good at everything.
And that's so true,
Yeah,
because it's a melting pot here.
It is,
absolute melting pot, and you will find a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
you don't miss out. Now you've got a new single.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, you want to tell us about the new single? It's called Higher, Breathe Easy.
Yes, ma'am. It's an amazing. Yeah, it's. I released it early September, 9th of September, and it's been amazing so far. It's produced by one of my great friend of mine. He just recently moved to Korea. His name is Colin James Gordon. he sent me the track a little while back, and I was apprehensive. It wasn't really my vibe at that time, so it stayed in my hard drive for ages. And then recently, I was driving, and I had a melody for it. Ooh, and I was like, oh, I can do something with that. And it kind of evolved from there. I started writing the lyrics, and it personifies where my state of mind and my well-being is right now, this year, which is, positivity and love and uplifting my brothers and sisters on the way up as well,
And that's fantastic. Well, we can't wait to play it at the end of this. We might
Yes.
get you to sing a little bit of it. That might
Oh,
be good.
I just did.
A little bit more of it. Now, in terms of music and creating, you could create a band with anybody.
Right.
2 people. Who would those 2 people be and why?
2 people, why? Oh, that's a tough question. For me, I think I would love to, musician-wise, I would say the Roots. I would love to play with the Roots at some point, inshallah soon. And I think musicians, it would probably be somebody like Frank Ocean or Living or
Living or not
Prince. I
living?
would love to do something with Prince. That would have been amazing. The fact that he played all instruments and produced his own stuff. So Prince would definitely be one of the
people.
yeah. Bob Marley too. I get a lot of my performing live, the energies and getting lost in the music live from him. I watched a lot of his live shows from back in the day, and I always take a little pointers there, and just make sure that the music's got to sound right, and you kind of get lost in that music. And Bob Marley is a huge influence. James
I
Brown
love
too.
seeing you sing Bob Marley songs.
All
by
right,
the way.
thank you.
In my stalking, I should stop saying that. But
It's all love.
your renditions of Bob Marley songs
Thank
I've
you. Thank you
always
so
really
much.
loved. Your
Yeah.
energy on stage is just unmatched, though.
Thank you.
Really a performer.
Yeah, that's very important to me. I think making the music, creating the music in the studio is cool, but I think once you perform it live, you get that instant feedback. You get that instant response from the audience and the people. So I love playing that, and obviously communicating and getting the energies from the musicians as well. Oh, once you get in that trance and you get lost in music, it's the best feeling in the world.
Now, if you were with an audience and you realize that they weren't really reacting the way you hoped they would, now how do you get them on board, on side?
I try to be a bit of a comedian, make them laugh a little bit. I don't know. I think once, a lot of the times, I remember once when I played in Dubai Opera, I was opening up for an artist called Rag and Bone. And obviously, when you're supporting somebody, you're seeing the audience there is not there for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in the beginning, you could kind of see people apprehensive and not wanting to to be into the music. But I think as long as the music is coming from a good place and they see it and you're having a good time with your musicians, I think slowly I started seeing people kind of getting into it and clapping and I love that feeling. I think it's just, for me, that's the best feeling when people don't know your music, don't know who you are, and you kind of not convert them, but convince them about what I'm doing and my type of music. Yeah.
And that's the whole thing with life as well. It's not
Yes.
just with music,
Right.
If you want something, then you're going to have to go after it.
Yes.
So you want that audience to be on side, so you're going to have to do things to get them on side.
Absolutely. Yeah. Naturally, organically.
Yes, yeah. Because an audience can be so tricky.
Yeah.
Just speaking to an audience, singing to an audience. You have to do what you have to do to, get them to enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah. It takes many years of experience. To kind of learn how to kind of do that. I've been playing since the early 2000s, so I know exactly what I need to do in order to kind of get them on my side.
Yeah. Now, in terms of skills outside of music, what skills have you learned that have helped you with your music career?
We're just talking about the fact that I'm a hermit. I'm an introvert mainly, but I think with music and being in the music community and the music scene and obviously interacting with the audience or whoever is coming there to listen to music, you have to kind of get to know people and get to know people on a deeper level as well, deeper conversations, listening as well. I think people don't take listening to a much higher level than talking. I think once you kind of listen to people's experiences, listen to what they have to say, their point of view as well. I learned a lot of that through music and being in the music scene as well. So, and yeah, and just and I think just being I think in the music scene you kind of see a lot of people who pretend to be something they're not. And I always try to keep that in mind to keep staying humble and being myself, no matter what the circumstances may be in the music scene or whatever scenario that I'm in. You know, I learned that.
And that's so important.
Right,
you know, once we get to that celebrity, you know, then people start acting different. You know, they go away from their roots and you know, forget where they come from. So it's so important to do that.
No, absolutely, yeah.
In terms,
stay grounded.
Yes, and that's so important. That's so important.
Right.
Now, in terms of yourself, and you said you're a hermit.
Certified.
Outside of music, what does Abri do?
Well, I mean, I love spending time with my loved ones, my family, obviously, my significant other. I got a cat and a bird at home, a parrot. I love spending time with them. I love spending time with my friends as well. I watch a lot of documentaries. I love watching documentaries, history documentaries as well, crime documentaries, watching good movies. I love, well, I used to play basketball a little bit, so I love watching it, playing it as well. Try to keep active, trying to go to the gym as much as I can. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm a simple man, you know, really, as far as everything outside of music. I try to keep it simple. I love going out and taking road trips as well, traveling. I love doing that.
Your mental health, because you spend a lot of time with family and so on, but we know music can be so stressful.
Right.
And trying to make it and making it and you know, and keeping that momentum going can sometimes take a toll on us mentally.
Absolutely.
How do you look after your mental health?
So yeah, I mean, the last few years have been really tough as far as my mental health. I was going through battling my own demons within. Obviously, COVID. I mean, a lot of people were going through it. I was in a point where I was emotionally eating, and that was kind of how it was a vicious cycle, because I would eat, and then that would make me feel bad, and then to make me feel good, I would eat, and was like, so I went through that quite a bit through the last 3-4 years, and I think the changing my mindset early this year was you know, where I'm allowing positive energies through and completely disregarding negative energies. Obviously, it's easy said than done, but I think having that prior mindset and waking up every day, knowing that you're blessed with another day, knowing that, you know, everything is going to be okay, like being grateful for the good things that are coming in your life. I think that's amazing. Obviously, I have ups and downs throughout the year and throughout my life, but I think just having that positive mindset from the get-go is important, and so far, I mean, it's been working.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, when people see me and they say, Marsha, how are you? I say I'm blessed and highly favored.
Yes.
And then sometimes people giggle, but you don't understand that that's me working on myself every single day. So every time I tell you I'm blessed and highly favored, I'm reminding myself that I'm blessed and highly favored, and I need to push on. So I'm really happy to hear that you're working on yourself continuously, because that's what we have to do. Now we've come to the end. I don't want to say the end. So tell us a quote that you live by, if there is one.
The first one that comes to mind is by an amazing, legendary artist by the name of Lauryn Hill, in her song "Do Up," where she says, "How you gonna win if you ain't right within?" So, yeah, I live by that. Yeah.
And that just goes straight back to working on your mindset, working on your mental energies, and so on.
Right. Yeah. So that right there.
In the songs, if we listen to music a little bit more, like Well, not some of what's playing now, but if we go back to some of that old school kind of thing and really listen to the lyrics, there's so much to be learned.
Yeah, I mean, people like Bob Marley, I mean, when you listen to his stuff, I mean, it's deceptively simple, but when you listen to the lyrics and hear what he has to say, you're like, wow, that's when it hit you, like, this is not just a typical, simple reggae song. This has depth, you know?
Deep.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. So I mean, I try to incorporate that in my music as well. You know, I mean, trying to give those messages of positivity and messages of loving oneself first and foremost before you love everybody else. You know, that's important. I think some people forget that in order for you to love other people, you gotta make sure that you're right first.
You have to, because there's no way of giving what you don't have for yourself.
Right, exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Aubrey. It's been so great talking to you. And I'm sure I'll catch up with you again and again. Because after talking for so long, I can't talk to you once.
No, this can't be the last one. Yeah. Too many more.
Many more. And I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you to do a little bit of the new song for us.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I'm trying to think which part. Okay. Ooh, I'll take you higher, higher than you ever been before. Ooh, I'll be your pilot, and take you anywhere you wanna go. Ooh, I'll take you higher. I say higher than you ever been before. Ooh, I'll be your pilot and take you anywhere you wanna go.
Fabulous. Now, where can we find the song? No, your voice is always on point.
I haven't warmed up yet, but yeah.
Where can we find the song?
The song is on all streaming platforms. I'm working on the video right now, the visuals for it. I'm doing a festival soon in the end of October to kind of highlight the song. It's called Remfest. But yeah, check it out on Spotify, and Rami, where else? Apple Music, of course. Yeah, it's on there. YouTube, of course. And I'm on Instagram.
And you're on Instagram at?
Abri.music.
Abri.music.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Bless.
So much.
Thank you
so much for this.
Thank you so much, Marsha.
Really appreciate you coming on.
Bless.
Thank you.